If you've noticed that your baby seems to be fussy on a regular basis, then your baby might very well be normal. Babies cry on average for 3 to 4 hours out of each 24-hour period, which is a lot more than a lot of new parents expect their baby to cry. And remember that when babies cry, they're trying to tell you something. Usually it's because they're tired, hungry, they need a diaper change, they're uncomfortable, maybe they just want some love from you, and maybe they're overstimulated. You'll notice that if you have a family get together and you pass your baby around from person to person, they're usually really irritable later because they just need some space. So if you've attended to all of your baby's needs and they're still crying, that too can actually be normal. So here's some things you can do to try to soothe your baby. First of all, you can try swaddling. When they were in the womb, they were used to being all tight, and sometimes mimicking that can be very comforting to them. Kind of wrap them up like a burrito, like they do in the hospital, and that a lot of the times will just soothe the baby to sleep. Sucking is also very soothing to babies, and so along with eating, you can try a pacifier afterwards if they've eaten and gotten the nutrients they need, but they're still kind of fussy. You can try a pacifier. You can also try like swinging your baby, and what I mean by that is like, think of when you hold a baby, what do you naturally do? Everyone starts swaying, and it's because babies like that. So you can hold your baby, pat their back, rub their back, just gently swing them, and that can soothe them. Basically, it's motion that they like. So you might find that getting in the car and going for a ride soothes your baby, or just holding them in the carrier and walking around your house, putting them in a stroller and walking around the block. All of these things can soothe them. You've heard moms talk about the vacuum cleaner. They like constant noise, and so there are white noise machines. You can just play music. You can turn on the vacuum cleaner. You can turn on the dryer and set them, in their carrier in the laundry room for a second while you supervise them and see if that helps. It's just that constant vibration or noise. Don't put your baby on top of the dryer, though. That's kind of an old wives' tale, because of course you don't want your baby to fall off. Sometimes fussiness is due to the baby's diet. Like if your baby is formula fed, sometimes they need a special type of formula that won't irritate their digestive system as much. So talk with your pediatrician about this. If you're breastfeeding, sometimes there are things in the mother's diet that can be cut out that will reduce fussiness, gas, and discomfort for their baby. Usually it's best to start with dairy, chocolate, caffeine, and other gas-inducing foods like onions, broccoli, beans, those types of things. There are studies to show that these things don't make a difference for a baby, but there are others to show that they do. And plenty of mothers who are breastfeeding have noticed that their babies seem to not be as fussy once they cut out certain types of food. But you won't notice a big difference until you've done it for at least 1 to 2 weeks. So one of the big things is like a dairy allergy. If your pediatrician suspects this, then a mother who's breastfeeding should cut out dairy, all dairy products, for a total of at least 2 weeks to see if it makes a difference. And then if it does, the pediatrician will look into it a little bit further to decide if there's a true milk allergy. If there's not, then you can start reintroducing dairy into your diet and try cutting out other things till you find the thing that actually is causing the problem, or the thing that once you cut it out makes it so your baby isn't so fussy. Also keep in mind that sometimes babies will cry no matter what we do. You've done everything. Changed them, fed them, loved them, rocked them, all the things we've just talked about. Nothing seems to be making a difference. If they're inconsolably crying on a regular basis, talk with the pediatrician and they can decide if there's other underlying medical conditions that need to be investigated. And also remember that if there are moments in time when you feel frustrated, like you want to scream or cry, you're normal. It's okay if you put your baby in the crib for a few minutes and let them cry. If they're in a safe place and they're crying, you know that they're okay, and that will give you both a chance to have a break, because sometimes that's all you both need. And after 10 or 15 minutes, you can go back in, rejuvenated and refreshed and able to endure it. Also call for help. Call neighbors, friends, call your pediatrician if you're concerned, and they can offer you support as well. If you have more questions for me in the future, please feel free to ask them on our Facebook page at facebook.com/InnerMountainMoms, and recommend us to your friends and family too.